Sometimes when you're negotiating with a club, they can be really difficult. They want certain clauses in there where you'd have to pay fees in the future, or they are just asking for way too much money for their player. And it just gets so irritating. They can be very greedy. This list, though, you don't have to worry about that. Straight, approach to sign, straight to the agent. You only have to worry about their wages. Let's have a look. Yes, welcome to the Omega Loot Gaming channel and welcome to Approach to Sign Players. I say there's only going to be 10. There's actually going to be 19, but I'm going to blast through 9 at the very end, really quick ones. They're not going to be as good as the first 10, but I just couldn't leave them off the list, and I only have 10 transition pages where I do the little number. It takes me too long to do them, viewers, so just be grateful that I'm going to speedball through the rest of them. And also, the first couple, I might actually show you what they're like in 5 years' time because they're just that good. So, for all this hard work that I'm doing, I'm going to ask a little favour of you before we get going. If you can, please smash that like button and leave a comment down below who your favourite player is. I think it might be the first player that we look at, to say the least. But let me know down in the comments. Leave a like and leave a comment. That would be fantastic for the YouTube algorithm, viewers. That's what I need it for. That's what every time a YouTuber says and bullshits you and says, please like the video, I like seeing all the like. It's for the YouTube algorithm. That's all it's for, okay? Honest. I'm honest, transparent with you. And I told you would probably like the first player. Now, he's not that appealing at this point of the stage, but he is 6'2". He is a centre-back, and he has 17 acceleration, 16 pace. He plays for Borussia Dortmund. He has 15 passing on this. Some of these attributes might change, of course, if he has them not structured in as a actual fixed attribute. They might change, and obviously down to his potential range as well. But I've got a feeling passing is going to be one of his very good strong points because he also brings ball out of defence and he can play it as a libero. So that suggests to me that he is very good at passing. Some great attributes that we can see here, and you can approach to sign him straight from the off. Now the thing is with approach to sign, yes, you're not paying a transfer fee, but you will pay a compensation fee. And oh my god, my webcam is going to be in the way for every single one of these. We're going to have to move me. 2 secs. I'm over here now. Cheers. As you can see now, £2 million you'll have to pay for this player. So not a bad deal whatsoever. And that is because he looks like this. Yes, just at 21 years of age, he is worth £42 million now. So you get that 2 million back and then 40 million as well. In this iteration, though, he plays for Hertha Berlin, and as you can see, his attributes are unbelievable as a striker. Great positioning, great determination. That passing's actually low, which obviously now makes what my other statement of him having 15 passing sound stupid. Acceleration of 18, pace of 17, so that's still here. Agility 15 as well, jump and reach. He is just very good as a centre-back, to be honest, viewers. Marking is his only weak point as a centre-back, but you can get around that because the rest of him is very appealing indeed. I like the look of this guy, and as a free transfer, other than the £2 million compensation fee, well worth it if you can get him away from Borussia Dortmund. Next up, we have Nicolo Rovella. Now, this guy looks fantastic straight from the off. 18 years of age. He is at Genoa, and you can approach to sign. And there's a few really good Italians that will probably on this list or at the end of the video that I'll reel off that you are going to want to have a look at. Because for some reason in Italy, they just don't believe in giving them full-time contracts. It's really ridiculous. But he has some great fundamental attributes. He's also quite good at set pieces with 13 free kicks and corners in this save game file. 17 determination, 15 stamina, defensive midfielder. He likes to try long-range free kicks. And if you approach to sign him and you negotiate a contract, £3.3 million is the current compensation fee that you would pay for Nicolo Rovella. I've seen this guy in the future as well, and we will take a look because he is phenomenal, viewers. As you can see here, at 23 years of age, he is now playing for Arsenal. He's worth £40 million, and he has some great attributes for a defensive midfielder. A solid all-rounder as well. I'd actually look to play him as a box-to-box midfielder as well if you didn't have the option, because although he does look like he could be a great playmaker on the ball, that 13 dribbling, decent first touch, 15 agility and balance suggests that he can carry the board forward in more attacking roles, and it would be a good option to have. Shoots from distance as well, comes deep to get the ball, so box-to-box midfielder, that's a perfect little player trait there for you. So that's obviously up to you guys, but he does turn into an incredible player in the future, and you can pick him up. £3 million compensation fee if you approach to sign at the start of the game. The next player on this list is a left back, and a very good one to say the least, in Hertha Berlin's under-19s. He's valued only at 32k, but Luca Netz, as a 17-year-old left back, looks fantastic. Great tackling already, great physicals, good determination to keep him growing and progressing into the player that you really want him to be. If you look to approach to sign him and you manage to negotiate a deal, £1.7 million is the compensation fee you'd have to pay, and I promise you it's worth it. He is a great player in the future. He was last year as well. Very good. Luca Netz, a German left back, and fullbacks can be hard to find. This is one of the good ones. Next up we head to Brazil, because of course it's a Meg Luke list video. We need to put a Brazilian in there. We have Renyer from Santos. Now this guy you might be familiar of if you've been around my channel for a long time. We did a player spotlight on him. I think I was actually on FM Scout's channel, so tell a lie, you wouldn't have seen him on my channel. But Renyer is a very good player indeed, and if we approach to sign him and you manage to negotiate a good deal, £2.4 million is the compensation fee you'd have to pay. You'd have to wait for him to turn 18, so by the looks of it you'll be waiting a whole year because he's just turned 17. Worth it though, viewers, because he's a great player, and if you manage to pick one up who has good determination and has a good potential, or high in his potential range, then you'll find yourself a really good attacking winger, because he's tricky and he also his finishing does progress quite nicely into a 13-14, which I've seen 5 years in the future. It's good, viewers, for that attacking wing. He picks up a lot of goals, gets a lot of assists. I like this player a lot. The fact that he's Brazilian always adds that little bit of flair when you manage to sign a Brazilian Wonderkid too. We now go to Serie A and to Lazio. And in their under-18s, there's this little special gem of Raoul Moro. 17 years of age, and again, in Italy, they don't have him on a professional contract yet. He's just on a youth contract. But look at his attributes. 15 determination, 14 flair here. Some really good technicals. 14 and 13 for dribbling and first touch. Physicals, though, are where it's at. Some really good physicals already. He can play as a striker or down that wing. Both sides, really, but he better suits to the right-hand side. He likes to play as a winger, which is quite interesting. Very unique for Football Manager these days. If you do approach to sign him and you manage to negotiate a contract with him, you'll be paying £2.1 million. So I think that's actually worth it, because I've seen this guy in the future. I'm not going to let you find out for yourself. I'm going to show you exactly what he's like. Here we go. Playing at Barcelona, Raoul Moro now finds himself. It's quite interesting actually that Lazio was the club that he started off at. They signed him for £5.5 million and he's never actually played that many games for him, which is a shame. He's being quite neglected. He even played for Barca B for a long time, and look how many goals he scored. So that suggests that if you manage to pick him up and you're kind of like a lower ranked side, that he's going to do a really good job for you. 14 goals in 29 games with 9 assists. Very high average rating, but he's probably way too good to play in that league. But his attributes are what we're going to look at. If he hasn't been neglected and you're playing him, he's going to be even better than this, which suggests you're going to pick yourself up a really good player. £25 million he is worth, and you only signed him for about a £2 or £3 million compensation fee. As we are halfway through the list, viewers, just going to take this quick opportunity to promote the Patreon. Page.com/MegaLukeGaming. In case you didn't know, we have early access to videos just like this coming up in the future. The player spotlights, tactic videos will all be available first on the Patreon for tiers $4 and above. For just $4, you could get like 4 or 5 videos a month. Early access, as well as the opportunity to sponsor a player for the Twitch save, which is going to be a Youth to Gold save. Very interactive save that we had last year on YouTube. This time it is going to be on twitch.tv/OmegaLukeGaming. Make sure you follow me on Twitch so you get to see the Youth to Gold save. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on everything you can find Omega Luke on. That would be fantastic. And let's have a look at player number 6. Back to the list then, and we have Brian Ode, or Ode, I'm not quite sure, but he's Ghanaian anyway. He's 17 years of age, and he's playing in the Serie A, which yet again, they've only given him a youth contract at Sassuolo as well, so you probably stand more of an opportunity of snatching this guy away from them. He has great physical attributes, already has like the remnants of a good inside forward, as you can see here. 9 finishing, only at 17 years of age, still time to progress it. Some great mental attributes as well, especially down the lower end here. Great determination and flair. Some good vision and teamwork there. And if you approach to sign him, you can pick him up for a very small price of £2.4 million. So quite a long time for him to progress into the player that you want him to be. Give him some game time. Do not neglect him. Give him some... to be honest, you can play him in a number of positions as well. We haven't really spoke about that, but he has some decent player traits already with cuts inside from the right wing. Just what you want. Add to that, give him some love, and you will get a fantastic inside forward here in Brian Ode. Ode, I don't know. We have another player at Borussia Dortmund, viewers, and this one, Jamie Bynoe-Gittens, is actually an Englishman, and for some reason, Borussia Dortmund, if you have a look at their side, they've got a lot of English talent. Jadon Sancho, obviously. But this guy also came from Manchester City this season. And this man, 15 years of age, can play on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. Has 20 determination here, 15 technique. Great first touch and dribbling. As an inside forward because he is right-footed. Or you can play him as a winger on that side. You could be looking at a fantastic winger in the future. And he is on an approach to sign deal. So if you do manage to snatch him away from Borussia Dortmund... I'm Man City in this game. He has just left me and he's willing to come back for £8 a week, which is very bizarre. £2.3 million though is how much you will spend on Jamie. I think that is quite a nice little deal for a promising winger. Again, though, we go back to Italy. We're back in 4, viewers, and this time it's Cuellar. And I think I've got that right if I remember rightly how people told me how you pronounce that first name. But anyway, he is Bolivian, which you do not see very often, and he is playing for Spal. And you can pick this man up on a nice little approach to sign deal as well. He is an inverted wing on the left-hand side, but he can play the cam role naturally as well. Either footed, viewers, and that is difficult to say when you're talking really fast. Either footed, he's 6 foot, he places shots. This guy, and there's a lot to like about this guy too. Some great mental attributes, decent physicals, and if we look to approach to sign, how much can you pay? £2.4 million, definitely worth it. Fantastic little player. The 9th man on this list though, I think a lot of people will be picking up in this iteration of Football Manager because Wilfred Gnonto, who we know has a big potential because of how good he was on last year's game, is a approach to sign player at Zurich. I know, viewers, he's left Inter Milan, he's gone to Zurich, and he's in there under 18, so he's moved to Switzerland, and you can still approach to sign him. Now, he has great physical attributes, great natural fitness, very pacey, good acceleration, and he also has some great finishing attributes too. Good finishing, off the ball technique. So, if you approach to sign him, you can do so. Negotiate the contract, £1.7 million. I dare say that's the lowest that we have had so far. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But if you manage to get a good one who has a decent attribute number in his potential range, so high in his potential range, then you could be looking at a world-class striker in the future if you look after him correctly. And if you approach to sign him and you sign him for less than £2 million, in 5 years' time, you could be looking at a player worth 40, 50, 60 million pound. It's going to be well worth approaching him. An advanced forward, you can play in the cam role too. What's not to like about Wilfred? The final man that we're going to do a big spotlight on before we reel off 9 quick ones is Lucas Varaldo. Now this Argentinian you can find in Lanús in Argentina. 18 years of age. This might be even better than Wilfred, viewers, dare I say. He's 5'9", 16 determination, great physicals, 13 finishing, but 14s for heading, first touch and dribbling. So he looks great. Good off the ball too. A young striker here that you can pick up for a very cheap price if you approach to sign £1.8 million. So not a lot in between him and Wilfred Gnonto. But I think both of these players turn out to be really good in the future. So Lucas Varaldo, I can't say I've ever heard of him before, and I dare say you haven't done either. Have a look at him. If he's in your saved game file, take a chance on him because for that price, you could be looking at a really good striker in the future. Okay, Let's have a look at 9 more, just really quickly. First up, we have Andrea Papetti, and I dare say he's actually one of the best that's on the list, so maybe I made a little bit mistake there. Unbelievable talent, approach to sign from Brescia. A goalkeeper by the name of Stefano Turati, you can find him at Sassuolo on approach to sign, and he is very good already at just 18 years of age. Another goalkeeper though, who I dare say is even better, Charlie Setford. You can find him in Ajax's under-19s. He's 16 years of age, he's English, and he is phenomenally good. Actually come through the Ajax youth side as well, which is quite surprising. And again, approach to sign. Keeping us in Holland though, we have Rav Vandenberg. On approach to sign, you can pick him up from Pek Zwolle, a centre-back who doesn't necessarily look like a very good centre-back, but I think if you trained him to be a defensive midfielder, it would probably suit him a lot better. Speaking of defensive midfielders, we also have Dimo Krastev, a Bulgarian from Fiorentina. Again, approach to sign. Got some great attributes on this guy. Strength of 15 already. Jump reach of 16. He's just 17 years of age. Can play across the midfield or at centre-back. An 18-year-old tricky winger next from Roma's under-18s in Mori Bamba. Like I mentioned, he's 18, but he is from the Ivory Coast. He is not Italian. You can play him both wings or up front. He has great physical attributes at the start of the game. Approach to sign. Kind of lacks in other positions, but maybe if he has good potential, he could turn out to be a very useful player for you. This time we have a look at Milan's under-18s, AC Milan's. 20 determination on this guy. 16 years of age, Leonardo Rossi, a striker. Some great attributes to start off with. On approach to sign, there you go. He does have a lot of reds, I'll give him that, but hopefully you can progress him into a nice little poacher striker there, or an advanced forward. I think he would suit one of those two roles very nicely, with decent finishing, first touch and heading. Probably the poacher would be the best option for him. And finally on this list is Martin Palumbo. Again, it's a player who actually looks fantastic. And Martin plays for Udinese's under-18s. He has great decision making, great natural fitness, decent passing and vision. You can play throughout the spine of the midfield or up front. At 18 years of age, you can approach to sign him as well. If you manage to get him away from Udinese, you could be looking at a fantastic Mezzala on attack. I like that role. And that is your list, viewers. I hope you enjoyed it. 19 players there. I really have spoilt you, to be honest. So if you could repay that favour by dropping the like, leaving a comment down below. If you managed to make it to the end, say tomatoes in the comments. What a random word. Say tomatoes and I'll know exactly what you mean. I probably won't. The first comment come through and I'll be like, what? But it'd be quite funny though. So if you say tomatoes, if you manage to get to the end of the video, that would be fantastic. Viewers, if you haven't watched the rest of the list, make sure you go and do that. We have under 10 million, 5 million and under 2 million, as well as some of the best Wonderkids that you can see in 5 years into the future. We have plenty more videos coming forward on the Omega Loot Gaming channel, so make sure you're subscribed and I shall see you for the next one, viewers. Follow me on all the socials as well. Twitter, Instagram, Patreon if you wish to pledge. Everything, that will be fantastic. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.